Hey there. Yeah, I'm CJ Miller and downtown Shreveport, Louisiana. I'm out taking a health walk and I'm Robinson Film Center and I'm zooming in. And so the movie that's out is called Hamnet. It's the one that just won at the Oscars. I wonder, did they mean Hamnet or did they mean Hamlet, which is an interchangeable name. Sometimes in the time of Shakespeare they were used universally or interchangeably, but Hamlet, no, Hamnet was the name of his son, the Shakespeare's son, Hamnet. And Hamlet with an L was the name of the play, so I don't know. I wonder if that's what they meant. I don't know. But it's a Robinson Film Center is not your standard theater. They do a lot of retro movies, a lot of older movies, so I wouldn't put it past them to bring back a Hamlet from the past, a movie or whatever. Was Richard Burton, did he play Hamlet, or was that something else? I don't know. But anyway, it wouldn't put it past me for them to do that. Or it may be that they have misspelled it and they meant to put Hamnet. But I don't know that they would. I don't know. How weird. Curious. Okay, so I know when I first heard of the movie Hamnet, my ears kind of did a double take, and it was a learning thing for me because I didn't know the name or what the point of it was. I thought it was going to be like, hearing the name Hamnet, I thought surely it must be some sort of spoof on Hamlet, like Monty Python treatment or something like that. I don't know, but no, it's not at all the case. So I think I got that from Spam-A-Lot, which was, never mind. Look it up. Okay, so I'm walking around downtown. Blue is the color for really a couple of things. Autism awareness and also domestic violence awareness. When we get down here, we'll check out the bridge if I make it down there. I think at midnight they're going to shut the bridge off, turn the lights off, either at midnight or 1. I don't know. But I don't know. I'm just out here. Basically, when I come out and I do a walk like this, I want to walk. I've done some workout, but I want to keep my cardio up too. I want to keep my cardio. I also want to work on, trimming off the fat. See, I'm not really trying to look a certain way or anything. Although vanity certainly has a part to do with why I want to be healthy, but really I want to be healthy for the sake of being healthy, And that means that I've got to close the gap on my body mass index. That means I need less fat to muscle ratio, more, that's the main thing. It really doesn't matter how I work out. If I were to start, I don't know, what can I say? Yeah, I want to work on that body mass index, and that's why I do a lot more keto diet. I do portion control and all the things to help me in those kind of areas, to really combat the natural slowing down of one's metabolism. As we age, our metabolism naturally slows. Nothing we can do about it, you know, fact of life. So staying active, you know, is, you know, kind of important. It's kind of important to stay in motion, even if I couldn't do radical things like take longer walks. I would still need to do some sort of physical activity, you know. And I don't know. I'm not an expert or healthy person or anything like that, or Dr. Medical, but I just, from everything that I've heard and that I've been told, it's good to do some sort of, you know, stay in some sort of motion. You know, sedentary body is really, you know, not gonna lose the weight that a body in motion will lose. You know. So yeah, well, I'm almost to the bridge. I'm gonna pause the video. I'll catch up when I get to the river. So here I am, once again, under the Texas Street Bridge. It's also called the Long Island Bridge. Long Island, after two mayors or whatever. And then it's also called the Prokowski Bridge of Lights, after the doctor and his wife who started the campaign and raised private funds and got grants to get the bridge lit up and well maintained with LED lights. That initiative started, oh my God, had to be 35 or so years ago or something. You know, early 1990s, 1993, 1992, 1993, whatever. But and they lit the bridge up with neon lights in a non-animated pattern. The lights were stationary, basically. The design was stationary. It never did work entirely as it was supposed to, you know. However, I almost tripped. I'm gonna watch my feet. However, we enjoyed it for a little while, and then as the lights started to go out, they really just stopped maintaining it. You know, they didn't replace the neon bulbs because they were specially manufactured, and it was, you know, so gradually the lights went out. Well, what they do here is they let people basically adopt a bulb. They adopt and they contribute, and that goes to the maintaining of the lights on this bridge. And you know, it's neat. Have I noticed one or two areas that seem glitchy? Sometimes. I kind of chalk that up to I've noticed that it could be chalked up to computer coding, because the lights are computer programmable, and the patterns and everything in the lights, it largely depends upon what you tell the computer, what lights are going to be lit in what shade and everything like that. So I don't know how LEDs, multicolor LED works, but yeah. And I've even got a couple around the house. I need to get them out and put up. It's just that they're programmable through my internet, and then every time there's a glitch with the internet or something, they have to be reprogrammed, and I eventually got tired of that. I'm like, you know, I'm not going to worry about that unless there's like you know, maybe a special occasion dinner party or something like that. Maybe want to have some fun, cool things. Then I'll take the lights out and I'll put them in, and you know, but doesn't work for me trying to really set them up, because I get OCD. I want them going on and off at the same time, as in groups and everything like that. And it's, I don't know, programming about 6 to 9 LED lights around the rooms where the guests would be or whatever. It's like, yeah. What I would probably do is I would probably just put each one of them, turn them on each at a time, each one at a time, and sync them with the internet and everything, and basically program them all individually and let them all do different little things, and be, if I can't be completely formulary in the way that they would work, then there would be no reason, and they would just be going on and off at any random way, you know. I think way too much about that kind of stuff, and that's why I decided to put them away until there was reason to break them out, you know. I don't know. Let's talk about this. Let's talk about, because I never know what I'm going to talk about when I come down here until I'm out here and I start running my mouth. And what do I get from this? Well, me talking about the lights led me to the idea of entertaining people at home, and I like to do that. But I have to remind myself that when I do it, it doesn't need to be every few weeks or every month or something. It needs to be every few months, you know, and then gather people together at a time that works for them and for me and everything. But that way I have time to really work up a really fun menu. And I love the idea of sitting around at the table, but most people, when they come over, it's very informal space in my apartment, and they just want to sit around the chairs with TV trays and maybe check out a couple of videos or movies or something like that, and that's fine, you know. That's you know, we live in a very informal kind of situation. But if I ever do a holiday meal, I'm gonna want us sitting around the table, you know. But also, I've got this kind of ego that likes to set a table and show off just all the things. Here's all the chargers and all the trays and everything like that. Maybe I don't have to break everything out all at once, you know. Maybe I don't. And I need to think of something really fun for my friends Mike and Mindy. Mindy's a vegan, so even thinking of something for her, like I want to do something creative. I don't want to be, oh look, here's another, you know, salad with you know, whatever. I want to find something that's creative. One time I did spaghetti squash, but I took the spaghetti squash and I cut it in half and filled the gourd with sauteed mushrooms, and that was really fun. But what you do with the spaghetti squash basically is you kind of shred it, cut it, and it kind of turns into like little pasta strings or whatever, so you can kind of do things with it. But I had to find a butter substitute that was vegan. I hear that Imperial, you know, you put on the crown, the little kid, when he spread the butter and he put on the crown, Imperial, or whatever. So that was what I found, and I researched it and found that was the vegan thing, and that was a really fun thing. Yeah, we were just having people over, and I was doing like a run. We were doing a marathon of Friday the 13th movies. And I don't think we got through all of them. I think we got through the fifth movie, the fourth or the fifth movie, or something like that. Maybe the sixth movie. I don't know. I wouldn't know. I know that we didn't make it through all eight. We were doing 1 through 8. We were gonna skip the New Line movies except for Jason X. We were gonna do Jason X, and we were gonna do Freddy versus Jason, and then we were possibly gonna do that 2009 2010 remake. But some of that we can use. I didn't get around to doing it, but I know that they're doing a Crystal Lake miniseries, and so I'm thinking that we can incorporate. I can have watch parties when that starts, and invite some people to come over if they want, and have like a kind of informal meal and sit around and do Friday the 13th or Crystal Lake watch party, and maybe watch an episode of the Crystal Lake, and then follow it up with one of the remaining movies, and that would probably fill in the entertainment for the night. And since we've seen, all of us, we've all seen those movies, it's not like we have to just watch them with complete utter silence or anything like that, but well, it's just because yeah, we're just genre fans, but then there's some other things, there's other ideas, but I want to think of some fun dinner ideas. I want to think of some, and I'm not a vegetable person, but I've got to find some sort of vegetables to serve for the people who love vegetables, and I want to make it vegan, not just vegetarian, but vegan in a way that honors them. And I do have so many different pots and pans and cookwares that I could do that. It's not like I'd have to here, let me cook meat in here, and then use the same pan that I just used for, and worry about getting meat on a vegan product or something. I really do care about that, people's boundaries and dietary cares and concerns. And the reason why is because I am a picky eater. Not so much now. I do have some weird peculiarities, but it's not, it's not like if something touches my plate that I won't eat. It's I'm not like a child. Like, I'm not as persnickety as I was when I was a child, and my options are much wider. But really, I don't know. I'd love to have people come over, maybe on a 4th of July. If we can't get together, I know there's the 3rd of July, there's a concert that I want to go to. And I'll find out tomorrow what the prices are. Everclear is playing over at Margaritaville, and I saw them playing. I want to say I saw them playing there before, and it was a good show. And then a few months later, I saw them playing at the Red River Revel Festival, which is an arts festival. Anything that's art gets featured there. It's great. So that's wonderful. And I know that it's not quite midnight yet, because when it is, we'll have kind of a show as this is about to. The lights will shut down. Let me flip it so we can see the screen a little, so we can see the bridge a little better without my interference, my face jamming it up. When they first set this out this month, it was blue, as in autism awareness. And they did come back and they did change the patterns, but they're still doing shades of blue with a little lavender or something like that. But and there's also domestic violence or domestic abuse awareness. And that there's different types of domestic abuse. It's not all about partners battering each other, or one battering the other, or something like that. There's an emotional abuse that can happen with people, that, well, I mean, we can do that. We can be out in the world and we can take it out on each other without meaning to, in our cars, riding or driving or something, we can be, horrible with each other by, saying things to each other in a car, that maybe, in that safety of that, maybe it doesn't matter so much, because it's just one of those licenses. It's a license to bitch at each other sometimes, but does it really have to be? Yeah, it's one thing to make a joke out of it and everything, but I don't know. Road rage, right? Is that the thing? It's not new. It's not new. Actually, very little is new. Just out enjoying the tranquility. Let's look at the water move for a little bit. It goes downstream. But sometimes at night like this, the ripples on the surface, maybe it looks like it's going back upstream. It's just, in the daytime there may be debris that you can see, that you can follow, little twig or a little bit of foam or something. But when it's like this, it's sometimes hard to tell which direction the water's moving. And indeed, sometimes the water looks like it's rippling back upstream. But from here, downstream is to the right. Well, let's go look at the fountain. The fountain's running tonight, and I see there are some lights in the fountain. Sometimes I will notice that they'll have some LED lights inside of the fountain. And then sometimes they'll be working and sometimes they won't be working or whatever. So I don't know if they're turned on or what. I don't know. It's a sight. So let's go check it out. And it's dark, and I really do need to remember to pick up my feet so that I don't trip and fall down. I am clumsy. So when I was in kindergarten, I got bullied and picked on a lot. Like this kid knocked me into a locker and my teeth got chipped. And another time I got hit in the head, or I got pushed into a fence and my head hit the fence and I had to get like a couple of stitches, that kind of thing. But it wasn't like every day or all the time or anything like that. But I was also a very clumsy kid that was always tripping over my feet. And so it's like, wow, I can never really, fault somebody for not taking, more action when I was getting bullied as a kindergartner by a couple of classmates, and one in particular. And I don't remember his name. I just remember he's the same kid that bumped me into the fence and bumped my head, and he's the same kid that knocked me into the locker as we were lining up and I chipped my tooth. But that was a tooth that was about to come out anyway. So I went to the dentist, got my tooth pulled, and my adult tooth came in. That same tooth got chipped in the 5th grade because I was, doing a little reindeer games, wrestling around the schoolyard with one of my best friends, and I caught an elbow to my tooth. And so for most of my life, I went around with a chipped tooth, a slight chip though. And no dentist would ever fix it until a few years ago. And a dentist, I talked him into fixing it. Okay, beautiful array of lights. And then they're shorting out here. So I don't know how this works, but I know that it's beautiful. And I appreciate the effort. And I do know they will come back in and they will fix this. But whoever does the maintenance over here, I try to give them a little, break. Sometimes the fountain is running, and sometimes it's not. Right now, the summertime sprinklers, they're not running. I really don't get over here in the daytime that much to know if they run them in the daytime, but you know what I'm talking about. You can look back a few months ago and you can see what, all these. I think even at Christmas, I think these sprinklers were going. Maybe not though. Maybe they cut them off for the Christmas. But before then, certainly all these lights right here, there was water coming up, and people would come down and splash around here, and right over there. And I know that these two sprinkler systems work, and I can't remember if this one does or not. I think it's capable of sprinklers. I don't know that they always turn it on when they turn these on. Back there. So. What am I doing? Oh, train noise. Hang on. So yeah, that train's still going. So I'll walk away from it. It's going to be a long train. I thought if it were shorter, I would just wait until the noise died down and talk over it. But what am I doing? That's what I was asking. Just, rhetorically. I'm out getting some cardio. And, because walking physically is healthy. And I find getting out and getting some good activity raises endorphins and serotonins and all those feel-good things, It's that it triggers that part of us that comes with a task well accomplished, So we get physical benefit, but we also get chemical benefit from it, neurochemical benefit from it, which is also really good for our psychological welfare, and you can see that those things decline in anyone who ever finds themselves not able to get out. If they become recluse or for any sort of reason, it just compounds. That's why people who become agoraphobic tend to get depressed with that as well. So do reach out to people, check on them. If you know people, it doesn't hurt just to say hello every few days, even every couple of weeks if you just can't, you know what I mean? Like if you're just busy, if you just, you know what I mean? I don't know. I think of humanity as one community in our Earth, and I suppose eventually we're going to move off of the Earth, and we've set up space stations in orbit, and now we're thinking about colonizing on the moon for short whatever. I think they're going to start trying to do some stuff with that or whatever. I don't know. Maybe another generation or so away before we have people actually go to the moon and stay, you know, for a week or so. But you wouldn't get me up there. But I don't know. They should be, the astronauts that are up there, they should be about ready to make their return. If they haven't already made their pass around the moon to come back, they should be getting close to it. So I need to check in on them. But I'm glad there's like 4 of them up there, and they have a little company and stuff. I don't think after we had this issue where there was some astronauts that went into space and got stuck and couldn't get back. They got marooned in space, and we were, I don't know, twiddling our thumbs trying to figure out how to get them back. And we did get them back down, but it took a minute. Do you remember that? That wasn't that long ago. After that, there's no way you would get me to go up into outer space. I don't even like to fly, you know. So but I don't know. There are, I believe, passenger trips into space now. I don't know if they're going into deep space or deep outer space or whatever, but they're going up, you know, into space. And if you could afford it, would you go in a craft and spin around the Earth, make one trip in orbit around the Earth, and then come back? Would you find that recreational, interesting? Would you want to do that? I don't know if I'd want to go up there for a couple of hours and come back down. I know that I would not go up there for 20 minutes and come back. I wouldn't see the point. What's that? You come here and look at the Earth from a distance for 20 minutes? You know, no. Let's wait until we get things stable enough to have some sort of recreation in space. I will go to space when there is recreation in space, when there is something for me to do other than sit in a chair and look out of a window at the Earth that's way the hell over there, you know. I'll wait until there's something to do other than just watch a monitor. Then I'll consider if I'm going to go to space or not. Also, I mean, how much money are we talking about? If it's a regular thing, like buses are cheaper, except for when I tried to come back during spring break. I didn't buy my bus ticket ahead of time, and I tried to come back from Florida during spring break, and the bus ticket was basic 3 times the amount of a bus ticket from Florida back to Shreveport any other time of the year. So that's just yeah, that's a mistake I won't make again. If I go back to Florida, I will pre-purchase the ticket coming and going. I will set a hard rule. This is how much I have to spend. This is where I'm going, and this is how long I'm going for. I love spontaneity, but yeah, yeah, it's just more economic to have a plan, and really just more fiscally responsible. So let's see. see. I guess I'm gonna be. Yeah, I'm already back downtown from the river, so I guess I'm heading back home now. I don't think I'm gonna do any major traveling or anything like that. I'm not gonna cut through the Asian gardens or anything like that. I'm just gonna go home. So, let me pause the video for a second. Well, it'll be a second for you. It'll be a few minutes for me. Yeah, so I'm here, I guess, about to walk over to East Texas Street and Spring Street Museum. This also used to be a vintage car museum too. Multicultural center across the street. That's kind of fun things that you can come and check out. The exhibits, different cultures from around the world as they find their way here. I had a friend and he was talking about the multicultural center and he was like, well, it's so multicultural, but there's nothing in there that's from Caucasian people. And I'm like, I mean, all you have to do is step out of the door and check out just about everything else. And we have culture from the North Americas, especially the southern United States. We're living in it, right across the street from there, you can walk in and see a museum about it, so don't feel that you're missing out if that one particular venue does not have an exhibit that you'd like to see based on what you step outside and look at all over the place. I think the purpose of a museum exhibit is to basically exemplify art, culture, history, even dreams of the future, technology, anything that is out of our normal daily realm. If it looked just like this, if a museum looked just like me walking around on the street, so casual and everyday, well, there'd be no real purpose for the museum, right? Now, if you want to set up a museum specifically for the curating and preservation of this particular moment to capture this zeitgeist, I suppose that could work. But you really wouldn't need to put that exhibit in a multicultural exhibit, and it's not really anything that you can't just go online and look at your current event feeds and find out anyway. So I don't know. It kind of irritated my friend. I won't mention which one, and it was some few years ago anyway. It was probably just a moment that he had, offhand of impatience. But it was like, if it's a matter of, Caucasian, there are Caucasian people living in all of those cultures, like there are Caucasian people living all over the world, just like there are people from all over the world living everywhere. And I don't know, we used to be a lot more accommodating than we are now. I think if we have to roll up on somebody, if we go to visit someone to check in and say, hey, you're undocumented, but if that person is actively contributing, if they're doing something, if they're actively contributing, instead of arresting them and sending them away, why don't we just document them and then tax their income? I mean, what? I mean, it's most of the people that I know that tell me that they know people, because I don't see a lot of that here, but I know people from around the country, and they're witnessing a lot of this stuff firsthand. Like, I have a friend who, they have a friend, and their friend got deported, and had been in their community for the better part of 15, 20 years, and got deported, and but was not a mooch or anything like that. Really was making a contribution to the community. And it's like, why couldn't that person be, if for some, and I think he had a visa, work visa, and I think he just got denied or something like that. I don't know, but I mean, why, yeah, this is, we don't hear that much about it, because now we're hearing about the war in Iran. Not to get political, but we stopped focusing on immigration. I'd like to know. Excuse me, I had to sneeze. I'm so sorry. I would have loved to pause the video. Hang on. And I'm sorry, I took off my handkerchief. Another sneeze here. Okay. And they come in 3, so there's probably going to be another one coming up. But yeah, what I would love to know is what's going on that front. So I'm going to have to go home and do a little. I don't normally want to talk about politics, but I do want to, find out for myself what's going on, rather than just listen to other people's opinions and what, rather than what I'm being told in the media. I want to talk to friends that I know who live in some of those areas that are affected more directly. That's kind of what those are the reports that I rely on most. I just noticed that since we've been dealing with this Iran situation, the focus has been taken off of the immigration in the media. And I think there's room to focus on both of those, as well as the economy. You notice I'm not talking about any specific party affiliations or candidates or anything like that, because I don't want to tell people who to vote for. I just hope that people will vote, locally, statewide, and nationally. This is our community. We do live here. We are citizens, and we do have a stake in the decisions that get made, whether it's very directly or indirectly down the road. We do have a stake. These decisions, they do affect us. They set sometimes precedents and become templates for how we do things moving forward. So the things that we allow to happen today are the things that people can look back at and say, but we've done this before. World War I, what did we do? We had relocation camps for Chinese citizens. So we've kind of played the bad guy before. So I don't know. Anyway, enough of that. Let me close this video out. I'm gonna get back to a happy note. I'm gonna go home, eat some food, mellow out, watch a little TV. I am nocturnal, and I just want to say love and light. God bless. Good night.